All right, and welcome everybody to a tour of the city that I've been building off camera here. The city has got a fairly large amount of people in it. Just over 600,000. It's been growing quite often. Just kind of take you a tour through the city and kind of show you what everything looks like. And this is definitely far from completed. You'll see the downtown here in a minute. It's got a long ways to go. This is probably going to be one of my larger cities just because of how many people I have and all the plans that I have for it, and just how much I have left. So yeah, so let's go ahead and just start over here. Might as well. So this is our very old. This is probably one of our older parts of town that hasn't really been touched that much. This is our manufacturing area. Pretty much everything over here is laid the way it was, minus like this bridge and this road here, are pretty much untouched. I mean, aside from maybe widening out a road or something like that, this is all pretty much laid the way it was back when I first started the city. Of course, things are added, things have been taken away, but I mean, really, the original structure of it hasn't been changed that much, aside from the freeway. This is definitely one of my more interesting interchanges. It was kind of by accident I created it like this, but it actually worked out a lot better because I originally had just a full, these would have gone straight through, and then the flyovers, but there was just so much traffic that was just going on the curve anyways. So I figured I'd make it a throughway, and it worked out for the best. So got kind of an interchange here. This is definitely an interesting interchange. We got the road that flies under, we got the road that goes over here. This one definitely needs to be taken out to 2 lanes, and then this turns into an interchange here, and this needs to become a 3-lane exit as well, just because there's just so much traffic coming off of there. But you can see it flies over, it comes down, and it meets on the bridge here. This used to meet down here, but there just wasn't enough room for this off-ramp and stuff, so I ended up having to move it over here for me to like it all that much. As you can see, there's an old ramp there that we used to use. I still haven't taken that out, apparently. But yeah, it was kind of like this distance here. This one's going to be redone probably as well. What I'm thinking actually is this going to end up being 5 lanes, so I can break it off of the 3. I think I have one of those in the city. If I do, I'll try to remember to come across it. But pretty much this freeway is 3 lanes from here on out. It used to be 2 lanes, but the traffic, I mean, it's pretty much 3 lanes all the way up until over here. So it's a pretty good little distance. It was a pretty, it was a project, that was for sure, when I was widening all these roads out throughout the city, especially this, just having to redo everything. As you can see, we have the 3-lane here, just because there's so much traffic going to get on the freeway here. So this is a little bit of a suburb, kind of mixed with skilled and unskilled. Nothing too significant. Got a high school over here, um, and all the basics. Nothing too exciting, just kind of a place for people to live. And then you come over here, we have another little suburb. I hated messing with this area, but I had to eventually do something, and it's still bad. But you can imagine, this used to be a little 2-lane road, and there was just something about every time when I would zoom in down at level here, it would just feel like such a small town, and I just love that. I'm working on getting that back, but it was just like there was this little corner shop here. It was just like a perfect little setting. It's just a 2-lane road, but unfortunately, this road has just taken a turn. This is probably going to eventually be having a flyover coming over this way as well. I'm just trying to figure out how to work that in. But more or less, this is a freeway, this road here. As you can see, traffic is pretty bad, especially in this area, and these roads are going to need some work. But this is pretty much a freeway on down here, and we have a flyover ramp that takes them so they don't have to go through the intersection here, just because there was so much traffic coming down onto this on-ramp. I had to do something, and the same goes for the other way too. So I took care of that. As you can see, there's tons of cars that go down this way. This is our 8-lane road here. This is about the only one in the city. Um, but I was going back and forth with myself whether to actually take this to full freeway all the way down through, which still might be done, but it's not necessary right now, and there's not enough room for it, really. But one of my original plans was to take the freeway all the way from that exit, or that interchange exit, from that interchange up over here, and come down around and then connect up into here, giving them kind of a shorter route to get into here. because they tend to use some alternative roads and stuff to get in there sometimes. So I just kind of wanted to encourage, another way, but it's not really needed, so I didn't worry about it too much. But that leads you right back into our I was trying to say industry and industrial at the same time. But yeah, we have our nice little suburb here. We have a little bit of a suburb. Well, this is more part of the city over here. This is one of our newer parts of the city. This is where I've been building more recently anyways. We got a mixture of skilled and unskilled again over here. Nothing too bad. I think over here it's mainly unskilled. Yeah, I think this is mainly unskilled over here. Um, but as you can see, it's been invaded quite a bit by the off ramps here. I really do like how this turned out. Just how it runs along the road here, and there's not a whole lot of room to spare around here anymore. Along the freeway in some parts. I'll show you the big interchange of the city. Um, but this is something that I've started doing recently, and I'm glad I learned this. This is a trick that, I always, I saw in real world, it being done, but I never tried it in the game here. And it helps out so much because you don't have to come down to ground level or anything like that. So we pretty much keep the whole freeway system intact here. So of course, we got our Walmart over here. We'll take you into the central, the downtown part of the city here in a minute. I just kind of want to go over this area. So we have this curved. This was completely different when I first started. This road from here to here didn't even exist. This actually this cut right through the middle of the neighborhood. Yeah, I kind of felt bad about that, but this used to just end right here, and there used to be some flyovers that would just take you over, and it actually wasn't even a real interchange. But as I started messing with it, I started noticing that things needed to change, and that's when this became like this, and we cut through a neighborhood here. So I think this is mainly unskilled too. I think we have I think we have some skilled in over here, but this is all basically going to become medium density here fairly soon. And then this leads on through. These ramps are reversed just because there's so much traffic that goes down this road and this road. I had to do something different because you had people getting off way back here and just clogging up the roads, and then you had people getting off here and clogging up the roads. So basically had to widen up the access road here and then reverse the ramps, and that helped out a bunch. So that'll take you through downtown, which I'll show you here in a minute. I just kind of want to keep an eye on or look at the freeway first here. So this is our main interchange of the city. This is the interchange that changes every single day. I constantly need to update or change something on this, but I think it's pretty stable now. It was a lot of me just putting it together without really thinking and planning ahead, because like this needed to be a 2-lane off ramp, but it wasn't, and this needed to be a 2-lane off ramp, but it wasn't. This didn't have that much traffic on it, but it still had a main flow lane. It was just a mess. That was not needed. So, but that all curves in here, and I had kind of glitched this in, but it all just ends right there. It may continue on, but I doubt it. It's not really needed. We have it comes in over here. It actually used to, when I first built it, it used to curve around. But then I figured that wouldn't work too well because we need a road right here. So it might still do that. We might incorporate this road in some other way. But right now that's just the way it is. But yeah, this interchange has taken a lot of time to build. As you can see, the frontage roads kind of go, up and around some parts, like over here. And this was the latest edition. I actually just worked on this a couple days ago. And I do like how this works, and I mean, we're taking up almost every ounce of space. Like, yeah, we could move this over a little bit, but that's gonna mess up this swing up here. But it just overlaps the road just a little bit. I mean, it just looks great. I do like it. I do feel bad for the people who live off this road here. But you can see we have our two. This is going to need to be redone because this actually used to, actually there's that piece I was talking about earlier, but I think this used to get off somewhere in here, or someone kind of back here, and then it couldn't start the climb until, like right in here somewhere. So it's going to actually be able to start it back up here now, which is going to make it great. So yeah, this is one of the pieces I was talking about. It's not textured right. It's a mod that was made. I don't know if it's still on the exchange or not, but basically it was just a mod. And you know, they might go back and fix it up later, or maybe someone else will, but I don't care. I use it anyways. It's got practical use. It's worth it. Looking a little weird. But yeah, basically you take the 5 lanes, you have a 3-lane off and a 2-lane off, which is just perfect. And you can also do the reverse. You can have the 3 lanes on. So yeah, it's definitely been very helpful in these interchanges here. But as you can see, this flies over a nice, easy slope coming down, and it meets up here. And then again, another one of these that come off the hill here. These both come off the hill. Um, and they just kind of meet up. And then you've got some on and off ramps. This is probably going to have to change eventually just because of how much traffic is coming down straight through now, especially since I started building out downtown. Most of this traffic used to go out to the manufacturing area, but now it's kind of 50-50 now. You know, they go down into downtown and over there. So we got a little bit of a I think this is a skilled worker area, just a small little area that might become maybe something like elites or executives or something, but I think it's going to stick with skilled for now. Um, and these ramps used to be the other way, so you used to be able to get off and on here, but that just didn't make too much sense to me, since just right down here you can get on and off as well. So basically I just did a loop and reversed them, which actually looks pretty good. I like how it looks. I wasn't too sure at first, but you know, it looks alright. And then let's go and take a look into downtown here. So this is some of our newer areas, but it's all housing. We have a couple apartment complexes up over here. We have a little bit of a trail, kind of a park type thing coming down the edge of the lake here. We got some nice houses, which leads you into downtown here. Now this area, I wouldn't say has changed a whole bunch, but it's definitely changed quite a bit, and it's actually probably going to change again, just because I want to kind of change the layout of this area a little bit more. But I may not touch it, but it's definitely got a lot of work to do. Like this is gonna, I need to kind of transition this better, because having houses right next to the, sorry about the lag here, it's just loading everything in. Just having the houses next to these big buildings just doesn't look right to me. But you know, it's a work in progress. But I definitely like how this area has turned out. You know, we got a whole bunch of offices over here. This is really our old office area. This is where we first started the city off, you know, with offices and everything. And it's you know, served us well, so that's good. We got a little medical center over here. I didn't even realize I had this mod. I think this is a mod until I was just scrolling through one day, and I was like, oh, I'll just place that right over there. I think this is high tech, yeah, some high tech over there. So um, maybe this is high tech. Is that manufacturing? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's some high tech. I think there's some manufacturing in there as well. Um, this is all going to change. This road that curves up here used to curve down here with this dirt road here. It actually used to curve right down through there, but now it comes down through there. So it's crazy to see how much this city has changed. We have not really had, you know, we haven't really developed the side of the city. It'll eventually probably get there. But this is one of the areas with the most development over here. This has been a little nice little, you know, suburb outside of the city. This is originally going to be mostly all skilled, but then this area just kind of turned into an executive area with the waterfront and everything. And it looks great. You know, it's nice to just sit down here, sit out here on the water, and just kind of see how everything looks. Definitely looks really nice. And you can see the freeway over there. And you got some nice little houses up through here. Probably going to cut out one of these houses and kind of build out over here a little bit. Or we might just do a little park over here. Probably do the park, because we don't really have that whole bunch over here. We've got the freeway that comes through here. This freeway is going to need some work on it. It's just got so much traffic coming on it, and I've kind of ignored it because of just the other parts of the city. But now something definitely needs to be done. But we got our little flyovers here. You know, this worked a lot better than doing the standard overpass and everything. Actually, there wasn't really going to be an overpass here until I decided to do that. But I'm glad I did, just with the amount of traffic and everything that comes through these two alone. So this definitely helps out. So it was actually a good idea in the end. We got our frontage roads and that meet up with the surface streets. These have all been pre-widened out, and actually they needed to be anyways, just to keep up with growth. I'm not sure what that's for. I'm going to leave that there for now. We got our harbor over here with a little bit of development in manufacturing. Just seemed to fit with the area, you know, with having a harbor there. Just seemed to fit with having the manufacturing there and whatnot. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this city. This city's been fun to build. This might become a full freeway, and this might become a full freeway interchange, but there's just not a whole lot of room here in any direction. So I just don't want to mess with it too much, and it's working for now. So until then, I don't want to mess with it too much. But I definitely liked how the freeways turned out in the city, and I definitely like how just everything looks and feels. It's definitely been a nice. Let me just see if there's anything I missed out. So we're adding some offices over here. This is eventually going to come up to the freeway. We're just kind of keeping them off the freeway for now. But yeah, I've had there's been some learning that's been going on with the city. It's been surprisingly, surprisingly, it's been surprising how much I've learned. We're just not really learned, but how much stuff I've actually just sat down and tried with the city that I haven't really tried with any others, and it's been a nice little experience. Oh yeah, up over here we have our airport. And then you notice that these ramps are not lined up, and that's because these ramps are off a curve. And whenever you have the ramps and they meet up on a curve, they will go take the off ramp, sit at the light, and then get back on instead of going up and around. It's just a flaw in the game. I don't think it's really anything of the mod. I think it's just the game itself that has the problem. So yeah, it's always fun, but you find your way around those, and eventually you'll figure it out. So yeah, so I'll definitely update you guys once I kind of, maybe get to 1 million people or something in the city. Once I get a little bit more people in the city, I'll definitely let you guys in and show you what I've done and what I've changed. You guys have any ideas for the city? Go leave those in the comments down below. If you guys like it, let me know what you like about it. Let me know what you don't like about it. I know there's a couple things I don't, but I'm gonna leave them out of this video probably until I'm actually finished with the city. Um, yeah, this has been a nice city, and definitely stay tuned for more Cities XL and other videos. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to favorite, like, subscribe, share, all that kinds of stuff. And as always, thanks for watching.